Good day, everyone. For today, we will be discussing all about comparing and ordering fraction. This is to continue the video lesson about fraction equivalence. Before we start, I would like you to see all the essential questions that we will be answering in this topic. So we have, how can you use benchmarks to compare fractions? How can you compare fractions? And lastly, how can you order fractions? Before we start, I would like you to have this introductory problem so that you will have an idea what kind of word problems will we encounter in this topic. David made a popcorn snack. He mixed 5/8 gallon of popcorn with 1/2 gallon of dried apple rings. The question is, did he use more dried apple rings or more popcorn? Proceeding with our lesson today, I will just be defining first an important term that you have to remember all throughout the lesson. When we say benchmark, this is a known size or amount that helps you understand a different size of amount. You can use 1/2 as a benchmark to help you compare fractions. Any kind of fractions, we may use 1/2 as our benchmark. Let's have an example applying these benchmarks. You can find this problem in your book on page 360, volume 2 of your Go Math 4 book. A family hiked the same amount of trail. Evie and her father hiked 5/12 of the trail before they stopped for lunch, while Jill and her mother hiked 9/10 of the trail before they stopped for lunch. The question is, who hiked farther before lunch? So we have to compare both 5/12 and 9/10 to the benchmark 1/2. In your book, you will be seeing two steps there. Continuing, we have step number 1. We have to compare 5/12 to 1/2. So as you see, this number line over here has already been divided with fractions 1/12. So all we need to do is just to spot where can we find 5/12. So shading 5 parts out of 12, so 2, 3, 4, and 5, that would be in this area. As you see, 1/2 is at the right of 5/12. Now, when we are trying to compare numbers in the number line, the numbers at the right are always bigger than the numbers on their left side. So since 5/12 is at the left of 1/2, we can say that 1/2 is bigger than 5/12. Now let's have 9/10 this time. In order for us to compare this to 1/2, let's try to use this number line with denominators 10 shown in the diagram. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shading 9 parts out of 10 and also identifying its position on the number line, we can see that 1/2 now is smaller than 9/10 because 1/2 is at the left side of our 9/10. So I can use this symbol greater than. Now to answer the question now, who hiked farther before lunch? Is it this one, Evie and her father, or Jill and her mother, which is 9/10? The correct answer is the 9/10 or Jill and her mother. Don't worry, this is just the first example. We will have more of it. Example number 2. This problem can be found on page 363 of your book. It says there, Erica ran 3/8 miles, while Maria ran 3/4 of a mile. The question is, who ran farther? So first, we have to compare both fractions to the benchmark 1/2. So first number line, it's for our 3/8. So spotting there, where is the spot that goes directly on top of the 3/8? We have to put there a dot. then you will see that 1/2 is at its right. So we can say that 3/8 is less than 1/2. On the other hand, we have 3/4. So I will just place a dot there and then compare. We see that 1/2 is at the left side of 3/4. So we can say 1/2 is less than 3/4. Now to summarize this problem, since 3/8 is less than 1/2, while 3/4 is more than 1/2, we can say that Maria ran farther than Erica. Let's try another one. Now this time, we will be comparing fractions using common numerators. We have here an example, 4 out of 10 and 4 out of 6. Let's try to use models first, before I reveal to you what is the concept behind this method. So we have 4 out of 10 and 4 out of 6. This figure at the left shows one whole that cut into 10 equal size or 10 equal parts. So we have to shade 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same thing for the one whole at the right, but this time we have 6 equal parts only. So same thing, we have to shade 4 parts. And then we can compare now easily which holes was shaded bigger. Now the correct answer there is 4 out of 6 because though they are the same when it comes to numerator, when the fractions have the same numerator, the fraction with smaller denominator has greater value because when you think about it, this particular example that we have, the 4 over 6, each portion is bigger than the 1/10 which is shown at the left side. That is why when you have common numerators, you have to choose the smaller denominator fraction to spot which is the bigger fraction there. But take note, this is using common numerators. You can use that idea if you have common numerators as your given fractions. So next, this time let's have common denominators. When two fractions have the same denominator, it means that they have equal sized parts. So this time we can be comparing the numerator instead. So we have 7 out of 8 and 2 out of 8. Now I have here again two models. One is cut into 8 parts, same thing as the other one. But we have to shade, in this particular given, 7 parts, while the other one, only 2 parts. So you will see right away that 7 out of 8 is bigger than 2/8. Now, it's easier for us to compare common denominators fractions because we can say directly that as the numerator increases, the value also increases. Not unlike if we have numerators that is common, that you need to check which particular fraction has bigger portions when cut. Okay? Let's have another example for this common denominators idea. So we have 2 out of 6 and 4 out of 6. So I will be shading 2 parts. Then the other one is 4. You can see that both of them has a denominator of 6, and it clearly shows that 4 out of 6, which has a bigger numerator, is our bigger fractions. So again, the idea behind this method of using common denominators is that when the fraction have the same denominator, the fraction with bigger numerator has a bigger value. So this one, we will now try to order fractions using our idea of equivalent fractions and the methods that I've discussed just a while ago. So we have an introductory problem. Jody has equal sized bins for a recycling center. She filled 3/5 of a bin with plastics and 1 out of 12 of a bin with paper. Then, we have 9 out of 10 of a bin with glass. Which among the bins is the most full? So this time, we will be applying now all the knowledge that we had from the previous lesson up to now. Let's move on and try some problems. You have to keep in mind that when ordering fractions, it is very helpful to compare each of them with the benchmark 1/2 in order to locate the fraction in the number line. But if you will be using a different method, that will work as well. This benchmark is actually one of the easiest if you already have in mind and familiar with all the values of the fractions. So let's try it first. Write the fractions 1/2, 3 out of 6, and 1 over 8 in order from least to greatest. In this one, I will be using first the benchmarks. So first, I have the 1/8. So I'll use this number line and spot the location of 1 over 8. The next is 3 out of 6. So I'll use this one since the denominators of this number line is already 6. So as you see, it's exactly under 1/2. Then, we have lastly 1 out of 4 or 1/4. Now, let's try to order them from least to greatest according to how they are positioned in a number line. You will see that the least value fraction is always located at the leftmost side. Then the greatest is actually located closest to 1. So we have the least as 1 out of 8 or 1/8, followed by 1/4, followed by 3 over 6, which is exactly equivalent to our 1/2. Let's try another one. Arrange 2 out of 8, 7 out of 8, and 1 over 8 together with 5/8 from least to greatest. Applying our knowledge all about common denominators, we simply have to arrange in ascending order all the numerators. So we have 1 out of 8, this one, followed by 2 out of 8. Third is 5 over 8. And lastly, we have 7 out of 8. So as you see, all the numerators are arranged in an ascending order. If the fractions have different denominators, we have to find the least common multiple, or the LCM, of the denominator, then find equivalent fractions considering the LCM of the denominators. Remember the problem that we have with Jamal and Steve? This is the same thing that how we compare or order the fraction. So we have example 2/5, 1/3, and 5 over 6 to be arranged from least to greatest. So we have multiples of 5 using listing method, multiples of 3, and multiples of 6. So we have there the first or the least common multiple that can be spot in the list is 30. All we need to do with this LCM, we need to transform each of the fractions into its equivalent where the denominator should be showing our LCM. So from 2/5, we have to multiply the denominator by 6 in order to get the LCM 30. While for the numerator, we have to multiply it with 6 to get the 12. Then we have the 1/3, which we have to multiply by 10 to get the denominator 30. Same thing as our numerator, we need to use the same number 10, and then we will get the 10 over 30. Then lastly, we have the 5 over 6. So the 6 should be multiplied with 5 to get the 30. And then 5 times 5 to get the 25. Now, when we try to arrange them, we have to compare the numerators because in the denominators part, we already have its LCM, meaning all of the denominators are now the same. So from least to greatest, we have the 10 over 30, which the original fraction is 1/3, followed by 12 out of 30, which is originally written as 2 out of 5. And lastly, we have 5 over 6, which was represented by the biggest fraction, 25 out of 30. Let's try to practice some more. Write the fractions in order from least to greatest. As you see, the denominators are different. Oh, this one is the same as our example just a while ago. This one. So the solution for this one is finding its LCM first. Let's move on to the second one. This time, our numerators are the same. Now, the idea, when we are comparing or ordering fractions with the same numerator, all we need to do is just to remember, when we have same numerators, the fraction with the smallest denominator is our biggest fraction. It's like the opposites. Next would be 2 out of 6 as our second lowest fraction, and the lowest would be 2 out of 8. I hope you've learned something today. Thank you.